Let's talk NCAA football, John. Indiana. When was the last time Indiana was ranked above Alabama? I mean, they're undefeated. They're having an unbelievable year. Can they sustain?
Well, pretty much the last time, to answer your question, Mark, never. I mean, I can't remember Indiana being in the top 10, and they are right now, versus Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M. Those are all schools with unbelievable traditions of football, and Indiana has put out some great players. In fact, one of the guy that won the Heisman last year transferred from Indiana to Washington. So they do have some great football players from time to time at Indiana, but rarely do they have what they have right now, which is a 9-0 football team, Mark. 9-0 anywhere is an amazing accomplishment. They're 6-0 in Big Ten play. They're in the top 10 in the nation. This is a phenomenal job by this Curt Cignetti, the head coach, who has come in there and just made this probably the toughest ticket to get in the central United States. I mean, I think it'd be easier to get a ticket for a Nebraska game than an Indiana game right now, or maybe even Ohio State or even Michigan, because these guys, when they finally break through, as they appear to have done, people are just gaga over Indiana football. And the Hoosiers, well, they're mainly known for basketball, of course, Mark, but this looks like an exception and an exceptionally great year for Indiana. So kudos to them and to their players and coach.
Yeah, fantastic, and definitely fun to watch and continue to watch. Let's move over to the pros, the NFL. Boy, oh boy, is it hard to be a Dallas fan and so far this season. And look, as we talked about yesterday, being beset, it seems like almost every weekend with injury after injury impacting how that team's been able to perform. Only 3 wins so far this year, John. Are they the biggest disappointment in the NFC?
Yeah, they are. That's easy. They have to be. AFC, yeah, it's disappointing that the Jets are not doing well. They've already fired their head coach.
Jets aren't doing well?
Yeah, they're not. So that's why Scaramucci hasn't invited you and I to a game this year.
I don't think that's the only reason, but let's skip over that.
They can't give those tickets away, Mark. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be the savior. I'm not hanging all this on Aaron Rodgers, but my gosh, that team has struggled. And Aaron certainly not having one of those years like he had to become a 3-time MVP of the league. But the Cowboys, it might just get worse, Mark. They are playing at home in AT&T Stadium 5 days hence, where they will be hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles, yeah, they don't have Jason Kelce anymore, Travis's brother, but what they do have is a 6-2 record and a much better team than apparently the Cowboys have right now. And I think it's going to be a very difficult path for them going forward, and certainly not a very patient owner of this team, because Jerry Jones, who's made one of the best investments in the history of sports, buying this team for, I think, $130 million back in the 80s. It's now worth close to $7 billion. Some say even more. But my gosh, Jerry is not happy, cannot be happy, and the fans are embarrassed by the way this team has played, Mark. So, yeah, this is, you know how our friends in Texas are, because you visited a lot of them during the pandemic when you drove across the country checking out oil rigs and such. Dallas is all about football, and this year it is all about hating its own Lone Star State Dallas Cowboys.